Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage our Vice President of Marketing, Miss Vanessa Hunter.
I love Betty Ann dancing for me. Thank you, my dear. You're the best. You are the absolute best. Are we having fun yet? I'm having a blast. So listen, one of the things I want to talk to you about today is something that happened to me when I first came to SendOutCards. When I first arrived at SendOutCards for my very first day on the job, and I arrived in my office, they had a big, huge sign, "Welcome, Vanessa Hunter," and they had a huge stack of cards. And I was like, who are those cards for? And then I realized that they were all addressed to me. I mean, how many people get to start their very first day of work with like over 100 cards welcoming them to the company? That's so cool. That is so cool. And so as I went on and went throughout the day, I thought, this is such a cool company. I knew that coming in the door. I knew that it was going to be a life-transforming experience for me, but I just didn't know the depth of it. I really didn't understand the way it would really change me inside, and it would change the way I thought about things. And I'm just so very grateful. I'm so very grateful to Cody and Jody for this opportunity here at SendOutCards. I really am. Thank you. Love you guys. So with that, in those cards, I got a lot of messages from women saying, "Oh, we're so happy that Cody chose to put a woman in a position of influence." What? And that kind of struck me. I thought, really? I just never thought of it that way before. It never occurred to me. And so, but card after card was saying things like that. And shortly after I started, I was interviewed by a group, by somebody. I'm not going to be too specific about it, but I was interviewed by somebody. And I was asked, one of the questions they asked was, what makes you qualified for the position? And so I thought, well, I've got this and this and this, and I started listing my qualifications. And Steve came on board shortly after that, and he was interviewed by the same people. And so after he was interviewed, I said, what did you say when they said, what makes you qualified? He goes, they didn't ask me that. Do you think I was a little mad? I didn't think that was fair at all. And see, this is the thing. In network marketing, this industry is full of women. 70% of network marketing, women. But listen, at the very top, when you look at the top 100 companies and you look at the top income earners, men. Why the inequality? Why is that? How could that be? There are women that have started network marketing companies, very successful ones in this industry. And yet, we're underrepresented when it comes to the top income earners. Is it possible there's a glass ceiling in this industry of entrepreneurs? Doesn't make sense to me at all. So I started really examining that, and I started thinking about my own life and how women had influenced me in my own life. And I thought about being competitive with women. And I thought about being jealous. And I thought about how I really felt about women. And I had to think back. I have a younger sister. I have 3 sisters, but I have a sister that's 2 years younger than me. So I was thinking back to when I first felt jealous or competitive. And it was back when I was in high school. And I had a curfew in high school of 10 p.m., which I thought was ridiculous. It made me like rush home from Friday night football games and totally ruined my social life, right? And I was so upset with it, but my mom was hardcore. If you came in at 10:01, you were on restriction for 1 day. If you came in at 10:07, you were on restriction for 7 days. That was it. There was no messing around. Go, Mom. She is awesome. She is awesome. So I got to be a junior in high school. That was my freshman and sophomore year, which, like I said, my social life was completely ruined. And I got to be a junior in high school, and she extended it to 11:30 p.m., which I thought was fantastic. I thought, okay, this is fine, 11:30. But here comes my sister, 2 years younger, and she gets the same curfew as a freshman. And I was like, what? That's not fair. How could that be? Now look at that whole thought process. I knew 10 o'clock was awful. And I knew that it ruined my social life. And I knew that that was not going to work. But yet I wanted her to pay the same price that I had. Like, that's not really nice. That's kind of awful. But I'm not the only one that felt that way. I'm not the only one that thinks like that. I realized that throughout my career, there are a lot of people that think that way. And I have certainly paid the price. I've certainly been on the receiving end of that mentality of you have to pay the same price that I did. And men, please don't check out on me right now. I'm not some women's libber, okay? I have a message for you too. But I'm not the only one that ever felt that way. Here, let me relate it to the men. I've got a story for you. Men, have you ever told your children about having to walk to school over a mile in the snow, uphill both ways? Okay, you've told that story, right? So the point is that your message to them was, why should you have it any easier than I did? Why should you have it any easier than I did? What kind of message is that? It doesn't make any sense. What happened to the evolution of society? What happened to us making it easier for people as they move on through life? It just baffles me. And I think about it all the time. So back early in my career, I noticed that a lot of my male counterparts had mentors. And I was like, this is cool, I'm gonna get a mentor. Because you know what? That's gonna help me get ahead in life. That's gonna help me get a leg up. And so I called this woman that was the most influential woman that I knew personally in network marketing. And I asked her to mentor me. I had a big speech coming up at a women's conference. And I thought, well, if she can just help me, if she can just give me some pointers. She speaks well, she's well known in the industry, she's obviously been very successful, and I'm sure I can learn a thing or two. So I called her up and I said, hey, blank. I'm not gonna tell you her name. Hey, would you mind mentoring me? Would you mind, I've got this speech coming up, would you mind mentoring me? I would learn so much from you. And this is what she told me. And these are her exact words. Do not think I forgot them. She said, oh, darling, you will never be as successful as I am. It's just not possible. Just do the best you can. What? That is what she told me. Tears burned in my eyes. I was like, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, thank you. I got off the phone as fast as I could. I was embarrassed. I had put myself out there in asking her to mentor me, and I got that verbal slap down. And I thought, what in the world? What is this all about? Why is she like that? Why is she making me pay that price? And so I started to think of other women that I could ask to mentor me, and I couldn't come up with anybody. I didn't want to go through that experience again, but I looked at all of my friends and I realized they'd made it on their own. They had done it on their own. And that speaks volumes to their strength and tenacity, but my question is, why? Why did they have to do it on their own? Why didn't they have a mentor? Why didn't they have someone to help them? What is wrong? I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. And I want you to think about that. I want you to think about the people in your life and the people that you could possibly help instead of pushing them down. And we as women have to do that. And I was talking to Steve Terry in the back just now, and I was talking about women and how we need to overcome all these obstacles and how it's 2014 and we still make 73 cents for every dollar a man makes. What is up with that? And it's not men's fault. Trust me, it's not the fault of the men. It's women who step on women just to get a leg up. We literally keep stepping on our sisters so that we can be more accomplished and more successful. And there is something so extremely wrong with that. And we have got to change that. So I'm asking you women to put aside your natural tendency for competitiveness and just help the women in your life. Just think of somebody that you could mentor in some meaningful way. Think of somebody that you could help and give them a hand up and give them a leg up and tell them that the path could be easier for them because you've already walked it and you can save them from some of the stumbling blocks. And men, think about the women in your life, your sisters, your mother, your daughters, and think about how you could empower them and how you can help them and how you can push them forward. Because women beat themselves up enough, believe me. And you can really, really make a difference in someone's life. And I'm going to start right now by empowering somebody that I really admire. She is our runner-up distributor of the year, Miss Jules Price. Where are you, Jules? She has no idea that I'm doing this. Jules. She's like, oh, what's happening? She has no idea that I'm doing this, but Jules has been a tremendous support. You have been fantastic, and I just admire you. And I want to stand with you in sisterhood. And I want to invite you to come sit in the VIP section, okay?
Thank you so much.
Come sit. Okay, you guys with me on empowering each other? Are you with me on taking this kindness revolution to a whole new level? Are we going to do that together? You want to know what happened to that woman that I asked to mentor me? She kind of fell on some hard times. No, don't laugh. She had to call me. And she asked for my help. And I now mentor her. And I do that because it's the right thing to do. Thanks.